Okay, Coach, thank you. On a muggy night here in Houston, Texas, it's a perfect 72 degrees inside NRG Stadium. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line with the Buffalo Bills. On first down, Allen. It's brought in complete. It's John Brown. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 16 yards on the game's first play and a quick first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Devin Singletary with his first carry of the game. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. On second down, here's a run with Singletary. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 7 yards there and a first down.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
41. Check 41. Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense.
From midfield, here's Allen. That's caught by his tight end, Dawson Knox. And he's got this down to the 35. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now the first carry here for Frank Gore. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards that time and a Bills first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Throwing now is Allen. Finding Knox there, complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The last play on the completion got him half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. To the air, Allen. And that's caught by Beasley. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
So off goes Allen, and on comes Stephen Hauschka for the Buffalo field goal. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and the Bills' opening drive yields 3. Well, they didn't get in the end zone, but pretty good balance there on the opening drive between the run and the pass.
Yeah, I think that was probably what they wanted to get accomplished right out of the gate. Throw the ball with success, run it, of course, to set the tone. So if we saw the offensive coordinator's play sheet, probably wrote himself a little note. Exactly what we wanted to do. Probed it early and got it done.
Now after the made field goal, Hauschka back out onto the field to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave them the field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the first down there, help them relax a little bit. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Come on. Line them, go. Line them, go.
On 2nd down, it's Miller. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 7 yards there and a first down. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time, that's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give them 7 there on the first down carry. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Now it's Watson, a bootleg. Man open, that's Kiki QT complete. And he's got a first down as a tackle made at the Bills' 23. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
They work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
Back to throw, Watson. He's got his tight end. It's Fells. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
It's complete to Fuller. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now Watson on 3rd and goal, rolling to his right. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down, so let's see what this is about. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
The holding penalty, that puts them in an unenviable spot here as they try again on 3rd and goal. Here's Watson. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins there to make the grab. And the Texans have taken the lead. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. To throw, it's Allen, and that'll be incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Allen. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big 3rd down pickup of 20 yards.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a 1st down.
They'll run on 1st down with Singletary. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
You got it.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Here we go.
Here's Allen. And his throw is incomplete. Robert Foster, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, it's Allen. Then he finds Beasley, complete. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. An effective 7-yard third down conversion. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Allen now looks to throw. His throw incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. To throw again, Allen. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on third down. And again, it's Allen. He'll buy some time right. He may try and run for this. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 14.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And this one caught by Beasley. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Allen from the gun on third down. This will be caught at about the 5. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And Hauschka's kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. They get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Now after the made field goal, Hauschka back out onto the field to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. Someone's looking fresh, and this O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain too.
On second and a couple, Watson, he finds Hopkins complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Watson in the offense going to come up 1st and 10, and he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. Watson with a give to Miller, and very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
From the 44, Watson, and the catch made by Hopkins. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Texans push further out in front. I know this defense knew it coming into the game, Charles, and they know it even more now. DeAndre Hopkins is a tough cover.
And anytime you see him out there and there's less than double or triple teaming him, take a shot with it. Just what you're talking about. If he's such a tough cover, one guy's not going to get it done. Throw the ball out there, let him go get it.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go, fellas.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
Toe bashed it.
that. Super toe.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Allen, and his throw here is incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Allen steps away. He can run for it, and he will. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. DeAndre Carter is deep for the Texans. Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 27. Now Watson, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack there by Trent Murphy. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. To throw is Watson. Dumps it complete to Miller. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
That's good for a Texan 1st down, a 12-yard pickup.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
Now Carlos Hyde in the game. Tackle made there by Jordan Poyer.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Check pass.
Watson. And that is incomplete. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
And they'll need the 39 here for a 1st. This is 3rd down. Out of the gun, Watson. They'll roll him out right. He may try and run for this. And he's got a 1st down as the tackle made at the Bills' 24-yard line.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a 1st down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
Off the bootleg, Watson. Open man is QT, complete. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
A perfectly executed crossing route. From the gun, here's Watson. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Deshaun Watson with his 3rd touchdown pass of this 1st half. And the Texans push further out in front. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Fairbairn now to add the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-6. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offense coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe something to press it a little bit. This might be the case.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards that time and a Bills first down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
They'll run on first down. Singletary. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. This is a draw play. Allen gives to Singletary. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
That's what I'm talking about.
I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The lightning rod, J.J. Watt with a sack.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. The Bills send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Houston. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. Here's Watson. It's complete to Hopkins. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. The end result, 21 yards. Talk about a big first half. Already has the 2 touchdowns, adding to his receiving total there and picking up the first down.
He's coming off the line so fast. I think he's intimidating the defensive backs with his explosiveness, and he's chipping away at their confidence.
A first down carry now for Miller. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Back to the ground. This time it's Hyde. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Play action for Miller. Now Watson sliding out of the pocket. And an alley to run. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll try the air now with Watson. Escaping the pressure right. He'll try and run it. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Watson. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he'll go down at the 28. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Going to run the sweep here. This is Hopkins. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
A quick throw out wide to Fuller. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
Now it's Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan 1st down. So in the 2nd quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
On 1st down, it's Watson. Rolling to his right. He'll run it. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
58, it's Mike. I got one.
10th carry now for Lamar Miller. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, a perfect 4 for 4 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Back to throw, Watson, and he will score. It's a touchdown. Deshaun Watson on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Texans push further out in front.
Well, this was a pass all the way, but he just kept buying time, didn't he? It was kind of like, wait. Oh, it's open. Time to hot-foot it and go. And, boy, was he successful.
Yeah, didn't go to the outside toward the pylon, just straight ahead, middle third of the field.
Shortest distance between 2 points, straight line.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They'll try and start the drive here with Gore. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Throwing now is Allen. He'll buy some time right. Allen hit. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now Allen. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
Keep playing hard.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They have been red hot, sometimes white hot here in this first half. They're just looking to add to that total right now.
And this has to serve as a reminder to myself because so many times I get wrapped up in the play calling, how they've sequenced things, how it's run. But you know, at the end of the day, it's still execution. Those guys out on the field, and right now they are locked in and really looking good.
They'll try to continue to be locked in here as we get ready to approach halftime. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. And this is caught at the 8. A well-executed 22-yard gain. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be at.
That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ball game, and the Texans push further out in front. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Back to the air on second down. It's Allen. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Round 80! 55! Ready? Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. Hey, 4 down, 4 down.
Allen now looks to throw. And he finds Beasley, complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
Let's go!
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
Set. Ready? Don't let him breathe. Don't let him breathe.
Here's Hyde as they begin on the ground. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8-yard line. Trent Murphy, the one to bring him down.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this second down call after that type of a gain.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Tackle made there by Matt Milano.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Let's get out the field, defense. He's coming, he's coming, he's coming. We got double.
7 yards there and a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
Let's go, tackle. Let's go. We got this. We got this. Go.
Looking to throw again on second down. Watson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Matt Milano gets him for a loss of 5. He is so tough to handle on the blitz, and that's Exhibit A.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. 3rd and long, it's Watson. He's got the hook up to Miller. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
A throw out wide to QT, complete. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
Mike, 58, right there. Yeah, that's what I do.
On 2nd and 12, Watson. They'll roll him out right.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3.
We got 4. We got
Now a play fake, and it's Watson. And that is incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Here's Brian Anger now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? Well, a lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Here's Allen to throw it. And his throw's going to be incomplete. That one was intended for John Brown. That'll bring up second down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline. But do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. To throw on 2nd and 10. Allen finding Knox there, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
Allen throwing complete to Brown. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
He finds his target, John Brown. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down.
Partner, he sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
Allen now, 5 straight completions here in this second half, 1st and 10. Well, they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
All day, just like that, just like that.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
All day, every day, any day.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. Hauschka's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So his 3rd field goal of the ball game brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And 7s and probably even 8s. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear. They want to close this gap.
Now after the made field goal, Hauschka back out onto the field to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down. They'll try to run for it with Miller. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Here's Brian Anger now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
All day, baby, all day, all day.
From the gun, it's Allen. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now Allen sliding out of the pocket. He can run for it, and he will. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Texans scoop it. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run with Miller. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Watson. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker, able to break that one up.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Watson now to throw. He finds Hopkins complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan 1st down.
Has a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a 1st.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They get just 2 out of it there, and it's 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Here we go.
On 2nd down now, it's Miller. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Out of the gun, Watson. It's complete to Hopkins. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. No room to be had there on the first down run as he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
Throwing on second down. Allen flushed out right. He's going to take off with it. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 32-yard line.
Normally we're talking about a quarterback duel where they're matching each other pass for pass. How about the footwork in this one? Both of these guys running the ball well.
Yeah, they've mixed in the run game. You're exactly right. Now, both coaches might not like how much their quarterbacks have taken off, but another example right there of just good mobility. On first down, it's Gore. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. And now they'll throw with Allen. And this is incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. A play fake to Singletary, and now it's Allen. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. After the interception, here's Watson. He completes this into the hands of Miller. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. He's having a big game through the air, and sometimes those smart decisions just dump it off. That's how you continue to have big games through the air.
I agree totally. That's a great analogy, a great way to put it, because he doesn't get too greedy where everything has to be pushed downfield, trying to create big plays that aren't there. You dump it off and take that nice gain, and things add up, and now you have the kind of game he's having.
Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. To throw is Watson. He's got Fuller. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Texans on 3rd down. They've been really good, converting 7 of their 10 tries. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. A give the first man through Gillespie, the fullback. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Double time. 4 down.
Now Miller, he's had a big workload here tonight. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Where's that? Mike, 58, right there. Let's put him on the buses. Let's put that team on the ice on. Let him go.
And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
19. 29's the mic. Focus, defense, focus.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Watson, he's got his tight end. It's Fells. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
On first down, Miller. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
I'm coming for you, son.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
From the red zone now, Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trent Murphy, his 2nd sack of the night. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
After the sack on first down, Watson steps away to his left. And he's going to keep it here. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. They've had plenty of success. 8 conversions, looking for a 9th. This is 3rd and 14. Miller. And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the 1st, right around the 15. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Fairbairn now, following the made field goal, he'll send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the inning, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Allen now to throw again. And the grab by Croft. Out of this before being taken down at the 27. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
The Bills on 3rd down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now Allen operating from the gun. Out to his left. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Josh Allen, very athletic at 6'5", showing the versatility, picking up the first on the scramble. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
Allen throwing complete to Foster. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 16 yards there, and the Bills have a first down.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come out here. Come get some.
They'll run a draw now with Singletary. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Check nickel, nickel, nickel.
Here's Allen. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. From the gun, Allen. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. J.J. Watt able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find Plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
On first down, Allen. And now he's going to use his legs. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Right here, 41 Mike. Too little, Cupcake. 41 Mike.
They'll run on first down. Goal. And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line.
You got it.
They're mounting a nice drive here. Good chunk of yardage there again. O-line, they've been solid this drive.
They have that look about them right now that says, if you do anything but run the ball behind us, you're crazy. They have really moved it well on this drive, and they want to finish it off the same way.
On second down, Singletary. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Now, we've seen this a few times in this game. That offensive line just, I don't know if you want to call it out-physicaled, out-toughed, whatever you want to use.
And what people do when that is happening, when they're getting dominated that way, they spread things out a little bit, make it more of a space game, and allow your skill position players to make a few plays out in open field. Take away the physical element, gives you a chance.
And it's a Bills touchdown. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open. That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you. Watch out, let's go.
Again, it's Miller.
Go, 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 go.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And they'll run it from the gun with Miller. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Mike, 49. Hey, come on, oh, come on, oh. Down him, go. Down him, go. 49's the Mike, watch 49. Man, I got you. Down him, go. Down him, go.
A shotgun handoff now to Miller. And now Miller hit, and he fumbles. Bills. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Now Allen to throw. From the gun, he'll throw. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal.
Check 41. Watch the curl. Watch the curls.
They run. It's Gore. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
They want it, fellas. They don't want it. Keep playing hard, fellas, all day. Woo! Let's get it. Boom! Bus stop. Mike, 65. 65.
Allen now on 3rd and goal. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
And Hauschka's kick is good. And the Bills are forced to settle for 3. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
First down, a run with Hyde. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, These pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down.
So don't say nothing.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Texans as we say so long from Houston.